Ruthie Nana.
Oh, okay. ERN Ruthie. I see.
Yeah.
Anyway, then it's good I was playing gospel music because I mean it sits with both of you.
Oh, it's okay, Ruthie. Fine.
All right. Anyway, so let's get into our conversation. So we're talking about volunteering, but let me start with you, Akosia, because you are still in Ghana, and I know you engage with a lot of people as an HR and all of that. When we talk
All right.
about unemployment among young graduates in Ghana, what do you think um, is a real missing link? Is it education? Is it experience, or maybe opportunity?
Well, thank you very much, Nee, and a very good morning to your cherished listeners.
Mm,
When we talk about unemployment, I think you rightly mentioned all the factors that contribute to unemployment.
mm,
Firstly, it's job opportunities. Job opportunities in the sense that there are a lot of graduates in the system. Do organizations have space for them? That is why in recent times we're trying to champion entrepreneurial skills right
yeah.
from the university level
Mm,
so that you do not wait to get employed, but you can be your own CEO right from the start. So a number of factors contribute, but the one that stands tall basically has to do with opportunities
mm.
for graduates to get employed. Yeah.
I see. But the issue about experience, why do you people ask for 10 years, 5 years, 8 years experience for roles that, I mean, knowing very well that the young people do not have that experience?
When I saw the topic, I said this topic really resonates with something that I've always been championing or advocating for,
Mm,
which has to do with experience to get into the job space. It is mainly because you want to have somebody who can just get go doing the job.
mm,
But then I have a different view because even if when you have people with experience, they need to align to the culture of the organization.
mm,
They need to learn new ways of doing things. They might have the experience all the same, but to situate it within the context of the organization, they have to be trained, they have to learn, they have to unlearn. And so this issue of experience, and that is why the volunteering bits really comes to play.
mm,
It's a way of accumulating some form of experience to be able to fit in the requirements of the job.
mm. Because sometimes it's a bit difficult, you know. The young people have just come out from school and they are saying 2 years. All the jobs that they are saying are 2 years experience. What exactly defines experience in that context? You talk about volunteering. I think that many people do not really know that that also falls in there. Does it even? And if it does, maybe you can throw some more light on that.
Right. So, first off, let's find out the question to ask ourselves is who is a volunteer?
Mm,
So, a volunteer is someone who chooses to give their time, their skills, or their effort to work for an organization, cause, or a person without expecting pay.
mm,
It is voluntary in its sense.
yeah.
And oftentimes we have a misconception about volunteering because we think it is usually for the NGOs. And when I used to work in the UN, they do a lot of volunteering, a lot.
Mm,
You would have people come all over from the world to go into deep African countries and then be volunteering. But then we also say that volunteering doesn't pay off. That is where I hold a different view.
mm,
And as you asked, does it really count in terms of the experience that we require when we want to employ people? There are payoffs to volunteering. One of the payoffs is that the experience and skills you gather
mm,
during volunteerism, the key thing to note or the key thing to consider is the volunteering that you're doing, the relevance of it. How does that align with the job that you're looking for? It
mm,
gives you a chance to contribute something that you care about. And then connections and references are made from volunteering from future jobs.
mm.
I will throw more light on that when we get deeper into the conversation. So, in as much as we appreciate that volunteering doesn't pay monetarily, there are some payoffs from volunteering, and you can accumulate that to gather some experience because skills will be built. You will develop, connections will be made for future references. And so volunteering kind of add up to the experience that you build. That is why internships, right from university level, I always champion when you vacate 1 month, be intentional to get some internship doing. And we as employers now, we have to shift our mindset from just giving interns meager jobs by giving them projects, using their skill sets, training them to be able to have measurable impacts from the internship experience. Thank you.
Right. Akusa, let me still stay with you for a few minutes before I come to ERN. Now, what is the misconception about experience? I don't know if there are some misconceptions about the experience that job seekers do not have that employers are looking for.
Can you come again with your question?
Yes. So I'm
please?
asking that what are some of the misconceptions that people have when we talk about experience, specifically towards looking for a job?
Right. So the misconceptions that we have when we talk about looking for a job basically has to do with your ability to deliver. You should have done it before, and so you have gathered the experience to be able to deliver. So if you look in recent times, the interview skills or the interviews that we organize, we look at competency-based interviewing skills to ask whether you've done it before, how did you go about it? Testing the practicality of what you did, not just the theory that you gathered in the classroom. And so one of the misconceptions that we have about experience is the fact that once you tell me you have 3 years experience, that means you should be able to do it. For me, it doesn't work that way. In some roles, once you come for the interview, we go as far as getting the practical bit to
Right.
test you. You can't just sit in front of us and tell us, and I did A, B, C, D. We'll give you a project, deliver, let us see. And so experience is just not writing on paper that I have 3 years experience. How are you able to practically demonstrate that you can deliver?
Right. Now, I'm told that one of the misconceptions also is that people think that when we talk about 2 years experience, 3 years experience, it must be continuous. Having worked in a particular organization for 2 years in a particular role, that is what counts as experience. Is that what it is?
I hold a different view in the sense that you should be able to show results of what you have done throughout a period. So, for instance, in 2004, you had an internship with an organization, and then you did ABCD. In 2005, you did same in a different organization, and you did 1, 2, 3. Accumulating all that, that is why when you are preparing your CV as a marketing tool, you need to be intentional to outline the roles that you perform during the internship period or the volunteering period, so that it speaks to the skills that you have built. And that paves way for you to get the job that you're requiring. So that misconception, I hold a different view that you shouldn't be in a place for 2 years continuous accumulation. Even for us who are already in the job in the job space, we have built experience over time by working in various organizations, different sectors, and that has built our capacity. That has given us the expertise that we have now. Yes.
All right. I think that's very important because there are so many young people who think that so when they see the 2 years experience, they think that they don't have it simply because maybe they did some volunteering here and for 6 months or for 3 months or 2 months in an internship and all of that, and they don't accumulate it and they just think that they don't have that experience. But we are clarifying today that it's an accumulation. So you could have I mean, maybe you did 2 years somewhere, 1 month somewhere, 2 months somewhere, 3 months, and then all of that comes together to add up to your 2 years experience out there. the job or the employer is looking for. Thank you very much, Akusia. I'll come back to you shortly, but let me bring in ERN into
Right.
the conversation. Now, ERN, you work closely with with volunteers. You've been doing NGO work for some time. What role is volunteering playing today in shaping young people's career?
Okay, first of all, I would say, I mean, sorry, where I am, there's a bit of noise. I'm so sorry about that. Okay, so volunteering is, as the lady said, she said it all. It's very, very important. I mean,
Mm,
it builds your skills, your confidence, communication skills. It makes you selfless, really.
mm,
And I think for your career or for the next thing that you want to do in life, volunteering is the best thing to do. I mean, she was saying that some people, sorry, they say, oh, it's 2 years, it's long. That's 2 years. You need to build yourself by volunteering. Some those that have volunteered in my organization,
mm,
we can send them to, like, for example, to Makati Sakradi. So they take food, clothing, they go and advocate, okay? They don't just go and speak, they go and also speak. So as I said, it builds your confidence in speaking. Because in your career, any career that you go into, you will have one way or the other, there will
mm,
be a time where you will have conversation with people. Okay, so what we provide with my organization is we'll build your confidence in speaking with people, interacting with people. So I believe that will, that will help a young person's career in the future. I hope I've answered your question.
yeah, I think fairly. Now, so is there like a specific example you can give? Maybe somebody who came to the organization where it wasn't too good at something, and then after some time, you can see a real transformation. Can you give like a
Yes.
typical
So
example?
I have my organization basically even is more of a young people, the one in Ghana.
Mm,
But let me say what I do online because I have online as well. I have a young lady here in the UK. Before she was very shy, but now she works. She works with me. She works with me. So if I before I come and speak, I have one in the US and I have one in Ghana. They are very shy people. They did it, the one in the US. She has eventually now opened. I've seen that she has started her speaking career. Okay, before she was very shy, so
mm,
she was shy to talk. But doing speak out before I come in, she will come and introduce me. She will come and talk about what speak out is. So building her confidence. Now she has been able to open her own Instagram
wow,
and she has started a video advocating for other things. So
wow.
those are the things that we've been doing, and yeah,
And she learned, she was able to master that confidence and even the communication
yes,
through
yes.
volunteering.
Because as I said, with our organization, we don't just donate to people and that's it. We advocate about abuse. So when you go and donate, you have to also join the team to speak to people
Mm,
about what abuse is, where you can get help from, where you can, and all of that. So we build confidence, yes,
mm.
and
I
self
see.
awareness. I think. Yes.
Let me come to you, Akosia. So, Akosia, how important is a skill like confidence that she spoke about when it comes to you employing people and communication? She spoke about two things: confidence and communication. How important are those skills in today's world?
Very, very important in the sense that communication is now the way to go.
Mm,
Whenever I have interviews, one of the things I look out for, and then permit me to say that there are people who might be academically good, but I always say that it's the storytellers who end up getting the job
mm,
because they are able to articulate, they are able to tell their story, and their confidence level is top notch. But then it goes beyond the confidence for to the practicality, being able to deliver or being able to do what you say or what you sat in front of us and you are all confident about.
mm,
But building that confidence skill is very important. I used to run a training on employability skills for graduates. I think I did over 2,000 fresh graduates at a point in my career. And one of the things that we were so particular about is communication skills. It is the driver to everything, because once you master that skill, and you need to be intentional to master your communication skills. Nobody, there are people who will tell you that, as for me, I'm shy, as for me, I'm laid back. And when I do my communication skills training, I tell them, you know what, you can be shy, you can be a reserved person and all that. But then if you tell me you are shy, you'll be kept in the room. How would you be seen? You need to be seen. You need to make impact. And it is through communication, effective. Let me throw emphasis on that. Effective, not just being able to communicate. There are people who communicate and then before you realize, they talk themselves into irrelevance. They open their mouth to speak and you say, oh, not again. But you should be able to command a room by building your confidence, by being able to communicate effectively. It is very important. As a matter of fact, it is the fundamental thing that we look out for, because then you can really put people in the front line to do things that even managers or supervisors can have that confident to delegate certain tasks, that this meeting I can send A, B, C, D to go and represent the organization.
Right.
It all flows from that.
Right. We're going to come back to some of the skills soon, but still on volunteer experience. So when you see volunteer experience, quote and unquote, I mean, written boldly with 14 points font size, you know, on a on a CV, how much weight do you give to it? How seriously do you employers take that?
Right. So if you have on your CV volunteer experience, the first question I would want to find out is, how did the experience shape you? You know, when you're writing your CV, you don't just write volunteer experience and that should be the end. You need to go deeper. You need to outline what exactly did you do during your volunteerism. What were the results you achieved as far as the responsibilities that you perform is considered. So you are showing certain skills that you built. You are showing certain results. Perhaps you were in charge. You were the project lead for a project that they put you people in charge. That's why, for me, when you intern at my department, you are not considered as a mere intern. Just as we used to have in the past. Now things are changing. We move from selling interns to just go and buy roasted plantain, as we call Kofi Brookman and the likes. Now we are trying to get structured activities or projects for them to do, so that it doesn't look as if they just came and wasted their time. We need to be intentional. And so when you volunteer, you need to put in place certain things that you did and show the responsibilities. That alone is the marketing for you. And we pay attention to that.
Right. So my question really is that, as an employer, when you see volunteer experience on a person's CV, do you give a lot of weight to that? Or it is just because the person has been able to articulate exactly what they did properly? Because just like you spoke about the Kofi Brookman thing, I know that there are some people that are doing volunteering, but the volunteering that they are doing, they are not really active. Probably they are also buying Kofi Brookman. So how much weight do you give to that experience?
As I said, it's all about the results that you show, and just not what is written on paper is what we concern ourselves with. You might have a good CV writer, and so we will delve deeper into asking you questions. That's why I say that when you're writing your CV, you should be able to speak to the things you put there.
Okay.
We've moved away from the copy and paste era. In recent times, AI can develop a very good CV to you. I have had the opportunity of seeing certain CVs, and it was like an exams paper. The CV is just the same. The format is the same. Everything that they put, teamwork, team player, what. you should be able to speak to the CV. So if you're under volunteering, you are telling me that you did A, B, C, D. You should be able to speak to it because
Okay.
it is what you did.
Right.
And what you did sits with you.
Okay, that's fine. Yaren, let me come back to you again. Now,
Yes,
you again, you work with a lot of the young people, and of course, you have some
yes,
results from that, seeing
yes,
some real transformation in some of your young people. What are some of the
yes.
things or some of the misconceptions that you think that the young people have about volunteering?
Misconception. I think they think first of all they have to remove from their mind, oh, I'm doing a free job. It will not be taken seriously.
Mm,
Um, and one thing I would advise before I come back again, I would advise the young people if you are doing a volunteering job, make sure you take pictures and videos. Have
mm,
pictures and videos for future purposes because if you go and they ask you, okay, let's see what you've done, you can provide your videos and your pictures.
mm,
Show that you've been working, okay, which is very important. But
right.
the misconception, yes. So the young people shouldn't think, oh, volunteering is nothing, it's free, I'm wasting my time. You are not wasting your time. You are not wasting your time.
Mm,
As I said before, for me, it all comes to confidence because without confidence, and bear in mind, the girls that, one of the ladies that eventually she started Instagram page, she's an engineer, okay?
mm,
So she's doing something well for herself, but she did not have that confidence. So volunteering is a great thing that will impact your life. It will help you to also impact the community. It will give you a lot of experience. It will give you a lot of experience that you cannot get anywhere. You cannot get anywhere. So, yeah, I
mm.
believe I've responded to your question.
Right. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Fairly. Now, so that is for the volunteer side. Now, for the I mean, those in the NGO space who actually give room for volunteers, how do you ensure that the volunteers are not exploited? Because I ask that because a lot of young people say that sometimes they don't want to get into volunteering because they are exploited. How do you ensure that that doesn't happen?
It doesn't happen. I mean, first of all, when I send my people to go out to
Mm,
volunteer, we make sure that we provide them food and water. You get
mm,
what I mean? We are showing them that we care as well.
right.
Because some people will think, oh, when we go and volunteer, they don't even take care of us. I don't know about other people. Um, but we make sure that the hours that they go for, okay, we are going for 2 hours, 3 hours, 2 hours, and the 2 hours is what we're going to do. We're not going to do more than that.
Mm,
Okay, so we don't lie to them. We make sure that there are regulations to be followed exactly. And as I said, we provide them food, we provide them water. Um, the leaders of my organization, sometimes I give them, something, to
mm,
show that we appreciate them as well. I don't know other people, as I said, it's volunteering, but we make it fun for them.
all right.
We make it fun for them because they are young people. They need to be motivated as well.
Mm,
They need to be young people need to be motivated. So that's what we do from my side to make sure that they are not exploited, that they don't feel exploited, that they don't feel like they are doing something. And yes, and
mm,
at the same time, we are training them to understand that volunteering doesn't mean that you are wasting your time. You could have been at home sleeping without building nothing, but with this, you are building yourself. You are building for your career in the future and all
mm.
of that.
I see. All right. So if there's any young person listening to us this morning, please take note that volunteering is not exploitative. Of course, I mean, there are some organizations that are actually may be doing that, and so
Exactly.
yes, but so you have to be very careful in choosing where you want to volunteer. We're going to talk about
Yes.
skills very
I want to
soon.
say when you
And
go there,
you
let
want,
them
okay.
show you, give you something to read. Don't just go in. If you
Mm,
don't feel secure where you are, you let them show you, okay, we are going now. How many hours? 2 hours. If you go in this from 2 hours to 10 to 5 hours, that is not what they said.
mm.
So, yeah.
Very important. All right, so we're going to talk about skills and employability soon. But let me just announce the phone lines in case anybody wants to join the conversation this morning. Well, exactly 29 minutes after 9, if you just tuned in this morning, we're talking about how volunteering contributes to career as young people, and my guests are Akosia Chirwa Boateng, who is the executive director of Gladnet. She's an HR professional, and also ERN Ruthie. She's a founder of Speak Out, which is an NGO. These are the two individuals having this conversation with me. You are free to join us. It's a very interactive one, so feel free to send us a WhatsApp on 0544 321019 0544 321019. Let's hear from you this morning. And also, if you want to call us, feel free to do that. 030395661 030395661, and then we give you the opportunity to share your thoughts with us this morning. You can also drop a comment on our live stream. We're on Facebook at ZFMGH, ZFMGH on Facebook, and Z Multimedia on YouTube. Feel free to drop a comment there. We'll read your comments for you this morning. All right, ladies, let's come back and talk about the skills. I think you, Akosia, you started talking about you spoke briefly about the confidence and communication ERN mentioned. What other skills do young people get from volunteering?
Right. So, when you volunteer, it gives you practical skills as far as the workplace is concerned. And so you are able to work with teams. Teamwork is something that we all look out for because the organization is made up of people. And therefore you need to depend on others and others need to depend on you for us to achieve our goals. So you are able to build the skill of being a good team player. Another skill is, I mentioned of the communication, which is very important. We also think at leadership.
Right.
Through volunteering, you're able to build your leadership skills. Someone will ask that when I go to volunteer, I'm not in a leadership role. I'm just someone, a put paper person or something. I'm just a data gathering person or data entry clerk or what have you. But then you need to know that leadership is a skill that you need to build right from day one. Leaders are made and born at the same time. You need that opportunity to develop that skill, and volunteering gives you some form of opportunity. I even say that when you are at church, union, alumni associations, anywhere you find yourself, you can volunteer to build some of these skills. You need to be intentional and take advantage of every opportunity that presents to you. We're also looking at problem-solving skills. You'd realize that sometimes in the organizations or wherever you find yourself, resources are limited. We all face that in our day-to-day operations. The onus lies on you with regards to how do you take advantage of these limited resources to achieve your objectives. How do you improvise? How do you solve problems easily? Your ability to adapt, agility. Those are some of the skills. Working with difficult bosses, emotional intelligence. You are able to build all those because remember, when you start from school right in your home, how do you even get opportunity to engage with people? You are just in your little corner. And you'll be in your little corner. How then do you develop these skills? You need an opportunity to be able to do it. You might have read it in the book now, and there's the University of YouTube that you can get everything that you want from. You can even graduate with a PhD from the University of YouTube. But then, I am very interested in the practicality, the applicability of the knowledge that you have acquired. So this volunteering gives the opportunity to build some of these skills. And these are the skills that we're looking out for.
All right. Okay. Yaren, so maybe you can tell us if you have any young persons, other young persons who have been able to develop themselves in the area that Akosia just mentioned, talking about leadership, teamwork, emotional intelligence, and all of that. Do you have examples like that?
Um, yes, I have a young man called Andy. He's been running my organization in Ghana for like about 5 years now, I
Mm.
guess. Yes, 5, 6 years now. And I think with the speaker, um, we take time very seriously. Time management.
Mm.
He knows that when I'm around, especially, and when I come back from the weekend, we are going for program, the time we are on time. So he has learned that, that when it comes to um, going for volunteering, we don't play with our time.
Mm.
And also, he has, um, as I said, sorry, he has built the capacity, he has built to know how to network. So
Okay.
now he has built the confidence. He goes to other programs, learn how to network with people. He has opened his own business, um, which the networking aspect. So he goes to programs, show his businesses and all of that. That's Andy. So what he's saying is very, 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 very important. Problem solving. He mentioned, I think, problem solving. So
Mm.
yes, he has learned all of this. If there is a problem, he knows how to solve, it, especially in the speak out. If we have a problem, I think one time they traveled to Takrady and there was Sujit, and then there was one of the members that got sick. You know, I wasn't there. He was a team leader, so he was able to solve the problem. He was able
Mm.
to make sure the guy was taken to a hospital, given the proper medication. We took care of him. So, yeah, volunteering is a great way to learn a lot of things. So, definitely.
Mm. I see. Wow, that's amazing. Now, can
Yeah.
you want to say something?
No, 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 that's it really.
Mm. Yeah, right. So, do you have other examples of people who have been able to transition from volunteering to maybe employment?
As I said, we have a lot of young people. So, I mean, they told me to, I don't remember at the moment, but because I'm very close with Andy, Andy takes care of everybody that comes to join.
Mm.
But one of the massive changes that I've seen is with Andy himself, starting
Okay.
his own business, building confidence and putting fear away. And, so, but we have worked with so many young people, and there are many of them are doing well. So,
Mm.
yeah.
Great. You spoke about networking earlier. How important is that in volunteering compared to the actual skills they gained?
For me, networking is very, very important. Apart from even, I mean, in life, networking, because you meet different kind of people. Sometimes we collaborate with other um, NGOs. And, through networking, you can meet someone that can provide you a job,
Mm.
can give you some advice, So networking is very important. You meet different kind of people, you learn different skills, you learn from different people and all of that. So I believe networking is very, very important. As I said before, we speak out, we traveled, we sometimes we travel for 4 hours to other places, okay? And we go with different people.
Mm.
So and when you go there, you meet different people. You meet different people. You exchange numbers. It helps you to learn different experiences.
Mm.
Yeah. Meet different people, different characters. And you definitely, as you said, confidence. You build yourself. You know that you don't live in your bubble. Exactly. Networking helps you to come out of your bubble. You
Right.
know. Um. Yeah. So very, very important.
Very important. Okay. Akosia, do you have anything to add to that on networking?
You asked you the question
Mm.
about whether she knows someone who has transitioned from volunteering to employment, and I would want to add a bit to it that myself, at the early stage in my career, through volunteering, I got a job, and that stemmed from the networking bit. Through networking, you learn from people and you're
Mm.
able to stay on their radar. Most graduates feel when it comes to networking because they only reach out to ask for jobs. they are not interested in learning under professionals. I have had people come to me saying they want me to mentor them, and me as a mentor, I miss my busy schedules and all that. Try to make time for them, and you rather go chasing after your mentee, which is so not acceptable. And so for networking, you are able to align or um, get into a professional relationship with people who can vouch for you, people who could trust what you have done, they've seen you do things, and they are able to make good recommendations about you. I always say that in Ghana, it is not whom you know any longer, it is who knows you. So you need to be in the books of the person. You need to be in the know so that when recommendations are being made, they can easily say that, oh, A, B, C, D, yes, I've seen him work, I know what he's capable of doing. And then that could land you in a job. So networking is very important. Let us not um, see networking as just a means of begging to get what we want, and that's it. Even
Hmm.
businessmen are always networking to achieve their business goals. And so networking is very important for young graduates. But then they also need to be intentional about how they need to be intentional about how they network. Networking is not just seeing somebody and then asking, I need a job. There's a structure to networking, and young graduates need to be very intentional about that. Maybe
Hmm.
we'll have a full session on networking at some other time. Thank you
Hmm.
very much.
Right. And I'm very much interested in your story. I want to hear your story. I like stories because it helps people really relate to what you're talking about. And I'm interested in, you said you transitioned from volunteering to employment. Can you tell us about that?
So, with regard to my story, how I was able to transition from volunteering to employment. Like I said, I just worked, and it's all about this intensive things that we do. So there was an organization that I used to intern with way back in I did a polytechnic and then went to uni afterwards.
Okay.
So right from polytechnic, I used to intern with them. Of course, just internship 1 month you go and then you're just going um, something. At the time, it wasn't even structured. You just go and you sit there. They send you put master here, put master there. But I took it as the work that I have gotten. I was
Hmm.
so passionate about, and it was a secretarial job. I was so passionate about, I was so proactive that I wanted to go beyond what they were giving me. Right. Unknowingly to me, a boss from afar was observing all these things.
Hmm.
And so right after the polytechnic, there was a search for a secretary, which happened to fall on the lap of this boss who was observing, and quickly recommended
Wow.
that this lady she can deliver. And so right from there, I didn't have to struggle to get a job.
Hmm.
It was so easy based on the experience I accumulated and how I positioned myself. Some of the young graduates also don't position themselves well during internship. I always say that whenever you find yourself, you need to see it as your best paying job
Hmm.
because you might never know who is watching. And so you're going to work and you dress appropriately, you're going to work and you're late. But in recent times, for me, they even call me headmistress because I cannot afford to see you on your phone when you're interning with me unless you're doing a research. You need to have that mindset that this is my well paying job
Hmm.
and it's a grooming for you for your future. The future ready skills that we're talking about in research, that these are the grooming stages where we build our capacity. So that time that we get our desired job.
Hmm. I see. All right. Thank you very much for sharing your story. And I mean, I know that there are so many other people who are also missing opportunities because, like you said, they are not positioning themselves very well and all of that. And so I hope that this one inspires them to begin to position themselves very well. Let me come to you, ERN. Now, ERN, now there are so many young
Yeah.
people who say that they can't afford to volunteer because because of the expenses. You know, sometimes you are volunteering a particular role, they don't give you anything because it's a volunteer role, of course, and you have to move from one place to another, run some errands for the company, and all of that. You are unable to feed because you're unemployed, and all of these things. How valid is that particular concern?
I mean, it's valid, but when you really want to do something, you will also prepare yourself.
Mm.
I think if you're volunteering for an organization and you need to move from one place to the other, I don't think um, they will be maybe they will be a bit sensitive about that and say, okay, if we need you to go here, then we will provide. For example, if I'm sending my people to Takrady, I don't expect them to pay for that.
Mm.
You know, I pay for their transportation and I make sure that, as I said, I provide them food. Um, I don't think, I think, as I said, if you really want to make a change and if you really want to transform your life, then you need to be ready.
Mm.
You need to be ready and make sure that I will do everything possible to gain the experience and the skills that I need, and I will get it from here. So, if you know that they give you a date that you have to go here, for example, you have to go and do this, you can ask your parents to help you. You know, some of you are living with your parents. You get the money to go and eat pizza. You can save the money and say, okay, we are going here this time. I'm going to provide for myself one or two times. And then you speak to those people that you are volunteering for them. If, they can also come in and help you.
Mm.
Okay. I wanted to also chip in with something. Um, Solomon, that works, I believe he works with you, right?
Yes.
He has also volunteered in the Sweet House, a bit. And I wanted to say that the networking part,
Mm.
so there was a young man that is called Jason. He he network online a lot. He also has an NGO. So through networking we met during COVID period.
Mm.
And then I met him and I said I have an NGO. He helped me to start Speak Out in Ghana. But
Okay.
through networking, I was able to help him do something great in his life. I was able to help one woman open a shop, where it's called Living Speak Out, where she sells food and other things. So
Mm.
networking is very, very important. When you join an NGO, um, I'm trying to put all two together. As I said, when you are joining something, do a research about it, know where you are going, and make sure that, okay, even if I'm going to serve there a year or two or whatever, I'm going to make myself available. I'm going to prepare myself. I'm going to be selfless. As I said, volunteering helps you to you put yourself a bit aside. I don't want to do this because I can't, I'm tired. You have to put that thing there because you're not being paid, fully being paid. So you have to be ready. You need to prepare yourself. If they are traveling somewhere, they send you around and you can't because of financial issues. Talk to them. Don't just sit at home and say, oh, maybe they will tell me to go this place. I will not have money, so I'm not going to join at all.
Mm.
Do your research. Talk. Learn to ask questions. It's very important. Learn to ask questions, and if you need help, ask for help so that you can gain the skills and the qualities that you need for your future.
Okay.
So that is just what I would say. Thank you very much.
Mm. I see. Right. Thank you very much. So, how do we get young people to, to see volunteering not as a delay, but as actually a strategy? How do we get them to see that?
Oh, me or you're asking me?
Yes, ERN. Yes, you.
Okay, how do we get young people to work?
To see
To see volunteering
volunteering
as
not as delay, but as a strategy.
okay. So, um, first of all, I think to help them understand it, we have a lot of pictures and videos online. So you go and check, and you will see a lot of young people. We need to advertise it more. First of all, I think like what you're doing now. Let me just put it in that way. We need to advertise it more to young people to make them understand that it is fun, that there is growth in this. And also, any young person that sees something, they should do a little bit of research. Go and do research about it. If you see somebody someone leading an organization, send them a message and ask them questions. You know, is it fun? How is it? And all of that. But I think we should, to help young people understand more, we should do a lot of um, adverts on radio, on TV, and social media, so that they can understand that there is something. I think many young people, if they don't know that, don't know what volunteering is, and don't
Mm.
know about it. I mean, they don't know.
Yeah.
So I think we should do a lot of publicity and adverts. That is the first thing we have to do to catch their attention. Yeah. That is just what I would say for now.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Akosia, do you have anything to add to that?
Yes, so I agree with her absolutely. The awareness about volunteering is very important. And key amongst it is to let them know the benefits of volunteering. It is not a job that will give you money, but the skills that you get will position you for a bigger opportunity. And
Mm.
once you get the volunteering opportunity, you need to treat it like a job. I ask how many young graduates do even have LinkedIn profiles that they tend to market themselves through that medium.
Mm.
Having actually LinkedIn profile because of late you have jobs hires going on LinkedIn pages to look for graduates for their graduate trainee programs and all that. We're moving from the era of just posting adverts. And now there's a lot of just targeting and just getting people from whichever means that we can get. So
Mm.
you need to be intentional to market yourself and to understand that volunteering today might not give you money in your pocket, it's sacrificial, but then it will pay off in the end.
In the end. All right. Thank you very much. We have some 5 minutes to go. Let me just announce the lines one more time. So, if you're just listening to us, this is Business Breakfast on Z101.9 FM with me, Nee Trebi Hammond. And this morning we're talking about volunteering as as a strategy for career growth. Yes, and you are free to join the conversation. Send us a WhatsApp on 0544 321019, and we'll read your messages for you. Also, you can call us on 030 3956641 and then we give you the opportunity to share your thoughts with us this morning. We're streaming live on Facebook at ZFMGH and on YouTube at Z Multimedia. Please drop a comment under the live stream and we'll also read that for you. Now, I think we've given quite a number of counsel or advice to our young people. I want us to look at it, towards national development. What role will volunteering or that mindset of volunteering, that heart of volunteering, play in our national development? And I'll start with you, Akusia.
Well, when it comes to volunteering, we're saying that it will build human capital
Mm,
in the sense that when graduates volunteer, they gain employability skills, the skills that I mentioned.
mm,
That makes them more productive workers later. You know, research has shown that countries with high youth volunteering tend to have lower unemployment because the graduates are able to enter the workforce job ready. You are able to build the skills through your volunteering period. And then government, um, NGOs can't afford to deliver every service. Okay, so when it comes to volunteering, you realize that you can help in national development through the service industry. You have schools, you
mm,
have hospitals, and there could be health campaigns that could be done through these volunteers. A lot of things can be done through volunteering activities to champion a national agenda, and that improves the quality of life at a low cost to
mm,
the government. So it's good.
I
That's
see. Right. Yeah, and do you have anything to add to that? Hello?
Um, yes.
Yeah.
She said it all. It will empower young people to, with leadership and career skills. So
Mm,
And also, I believe that one thing I want to add, maybe not to this, but add is volunteering also can help you start your own business. You know, it's not all about gaining the skills and go and work for other people.
Mm.
It's also gaining the skills to be able to be consistent and to be able to also open your own business, and the skills you build from there, you teach other people through your business. So, yeah, and that's just what I'll add to it. God
Mm.
bless you.
All right. All right, ladies, thank you so much for your time. I'm really grateful. Let me take your final thoughts in 30 seconds each, and then we can go. Let me start with you, ERN, and then we'll wrap up with you, Akusia. Hello, ERN.
Okay,
Yeah.
yes, I would say to young people that don't give up. Okay, don't be intimidated. But when they say you need 2 years of skills or experience, don't be afraid to volunteer. Don't be afraid of yourself. Don't be afraid of, oh, I am not confident enough. Gain a little bit of courage and start volunteering, looking for an NGO or a place that you can, or some business. Just go and to them and ask them, please, can I come and work here for free? Can I come and volunteer here for free? And you see that through that you will build yourself. Okay. I would just say that, because being a Christian, I would say God has not given you the spirit of fear. He has
Mm.
given you power. You have power, sound mind, and love. You have power. Don't let fear go ahead of you.
Mm.
Fear will not take you nowhere. But have faith and hope, and go for it and volunteer, and you see that will build you more than you think.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Okay. Thank you very much, ERN. Akusia, finally, yeah, your final thoughts in 30 seconds.
Right. Since she mentioned, she addressed the volunteers or young graduates, I'm going to take it from the perspective of organization.
Mm.
Create impactful volunteer programs for graduates. When a volunteer comes to you or a young graduate is volunteering with you, you need to be intentional to have a structured program for the volunteer so that it can achieve the required benefits
Mm.
to the young graduate. First off, you need to define clear roles with real responsibility for the volunteer. You shouldn't just see it as I'm just helping out.
Right.
You need to ensure supervision and take feedback. As a matter of fact, I say that treat volunteers as just first entry or junior staff.
Mm.
You need to give them projects that they can deliver and measure the results. And then you track the outcome of what they have done
Mm.
to ensure that the projects have been delivered and give feedback to them as well.
Right.
Areas for fixing so they can build the capacity or the skills that we all looking for. So
Mm.
those would be volunteering works when it's intentional for both the volunteer and the organization.
Mm. Right. Thank you very much, Akusi, as well. Really grateful to the two of you for joining me this morning. And very good conversation. I really appreciate the insights that you have shared. Thank you very much.
Thank
Oh,
you.
please, and sorry to say, if anybody wants to join, they can look for us on social media. Speak out.
Okay.
You
Right.
know.
Right. Thank you, too.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bless you.
All right. Please do
Yeah.
enjoy the rest of your day. Mm. All right. So those were my guests. Akosia Chirewa Boateng. She is the executive director of GladNet. She's a senior HR person, and also ERN Ruthie. She's a founder of Speak Out, which is an NGO here in Ghana and also in the UK. And these are the two individuals who joined me this morning talking about volunteering. Now, from the conversation, one thing stands out, and it's the fact that volunteering is very, very important. Sometimes that is all you need to be able to get the experience. If you are not getting the job, go and look for something to volunteer in, and you can get the experience that you need to become employable or to start your own initiatives. And so, very important. But that's how we wrap up today on the Business Breakfast on Z. If you miss any part of that conversation, feel free to head to our YouTube. We'll post a video there on YouTube at Z Multimedia. You can find us, just type in Z Multimedia. You find us on YouTube, and you can go and play back the conversation just so that you can understand exactly the ins and outs of volunteering. All right. So, yes, we're back again tomorrow for some more interesting conversation. Tomorrow, we're talking about emotional intelligence, and it is one of the most important things that you can ever ever learn. Emotional intelligence is actually the driver for a lot of things. And so you may want to join us tomorrow at exactly 6:15. We're talking about emotional intelligence, specifically in terms of relationship, and how you can manage conflict without breaking down. Very important. So make sure you tune in tomorrow and join us for that conversation. 6:15 a.m. till 9:55. My name is Nitra Ebi Hammond. I'll see you tomorrow. Until then, please take care of yourself. And when you think Ghana, think Z. Up next is A Brighter Side with Jeremy Okoria Marco. Bye-bye.